Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about conspiracy theories, one of my favorite things to do. Please get those likes up when you come on in. You know that it affects the algorithm. Okay, so far I don't see anyone here yet. Oh, hey, Guilty Angel. Let's talk about some conspiracy theories. Y'all know that I believe in time travel. I believe in aliens. And I believe that there's a lot of things that you can't always explain. I believe there's all types of stuff that are cover ups. Cover ups, there are things that the government does know about, like I said, but sometimes, hey, APX, BX, and Y, sometimes the government just, well, they're covering things up to protect you, but also because they know that some things are so powerful that they can't even beat it. So they can't reveal it. They also know that a lot of people are very religious, and if the truth comes out about some stuff, people just can't. Hey, night showstopper. Some people, they honestly just can't handle the truth. A lot of people, like they said with Tom Cruise, you just can't handle the truth. A lot of people. Okay, so let's look at what people are saying. I'm going to read to you conspiracy theories that people have, things they believe, and I am going to give my opinion. This is part two. If you haven't seen part one, just go on my channel, go to the live section, scroll down, and you will see it. Part one, the first one. Okay, so let's get started. All right, let's see the first thing that people are saying, and I'm going to tell you the straight up truth if I think it's crazy or hold on now. Okay. If I think it's crazy or not, do I believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? That's from the film The Believers. So, okay, let's see what people are saying, cuz some stuff I don't believe. There are some things that I think just sound absolutely ridiculous, and some stuff I'm like it could be possible. It could be. Okay. This person says, "We live underwater." I've heard this before. The ocean is just denser water. They found an ocean under an ocean. You think fish know they're in water? We are too. Hold on now, let's think deeply. Okay, a fish doesn't know it's in water because that's the environment that they were born into. So he's saying, how would we not know if we're in water? Okay, we know that water is H2O. Water has oxygen in it. We breathe oxygen and something else. So could we be in water and we don't know we're in water? I don't believe that. You plug up things in electrical outlets. If you lived in water, you would be electrocuted and you would pass away. I do not believe that we're in water. I would think we would know if we're in water. I think we would know. Now, here's the thing. It is true that scientists said that they discovered an ocean within the ocean. Believe me, they knew about that years before they told us that. They finally told us, okay? So, I don't know. I hear about this firmament. I keep hearing that there are different layers and that, just like we have the inner earth, that we're at the bottom of something. That's what he's saying. We live underwater. The ocean is just denser. They found an ocean under an ocean. My thing is, if we lived under an ocean, where's the water? I don't know. Do I sound crazy saying this? I always say, where's this damn water at? If we lived underwater, why isn't water falling on top of us? Make it make sense. Then people will say, oh, it's the firmament. Explain the moon to me then. Explain the moon and the sun and the stars. Are you saying that the water is above the moon and the stars and the sun? Like, no, I need a visual. I just April says, hello, April. You said, I think we're in between waters above and waters below. Again, if there's water above us, where is this water at? Why hasn't the water fallen? Now, people might say, well, we get rain. That's because rain is humidity falling down. I, I just, I need more evidence. I need more evidence. This firmament thing that people talk about, I need evidence. If you can't prove to me, then I can't believe it all the way. I need to see it. Okay. So let's see. Let's see the next conspiracy theory under here. Civilization has forced an end to human evolution. We no longer split off and allow branches to die on their own. Damn, I didn't have the whole thing. But let's go with what she's saying. Civilizations are not evolving anymore. I think she's talking about, excuse me, I think she's talking about, you know how they say there is Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, and Homo sapiens and all this stuff, and they say that, oh, they were branching off and all this other stuff. She says that we no longer split off, I guess, into these different groups and allow branches, different types of humans, to die off on their own. That we all live together, I guess, and we have civilization and we're all mixing together and we're not evolving. I guess that's what she means. You know, leave a heart in the chat if you believe in evolution. I used to have a hard time with evolution because I used to say to myself, it is hard for me to believe that because weather was different, that West African morphed into a Norwegian looking person because, oh, it was a colder climate. Physical, if that's, there has been no explanation as to how kinky hair turned to bone straight hair. I don't know. I believe there's some sort of cover up. I don't know if I 100% believe it. I believe it a little bit. A lot of humans have crossbred, this whole Neanderthal and humans and all this other stuff. I just, I don't know. I don't know. It's like when I imagine people who are very dark skinned, very stereotypical West African looking. And I'm like, you're telling me because they left out of Africa and went to a different location that they morphed into looking Caucasian and then in looking Chinese and stuff because of a weather change? Because that's all they're really saying. The weather was different. Oh, it wasn't as hot. Okay, I ain't never seen nobody morph unless they mix with somebody and then the facial features and the hair textures change. Not because, oh, it happened to be hotter or colder here. I don't know. Something about it just kind of seems a little made up to me. I'm 50-50 on it. I'm 50-50 on this whole evolution stuff, what they're talking about. Um, I believe that mixing with Neanderthals created the different looks you see in humans, and that probably the Africans who left, nobody knows where a Neanderthal even came from or what it is. They started effing them, and the babies started getting mutations because they weren't 100% the same. And that's how you end up with all these different hair textures, facial features, and skin tones going on. That's my theory a little bit on what happened with that. As far as a Neanderthal, mostly everyone has Neanderthal DNA. The only people that don't are pure-blooded Africans, and even in Africa, they're mixed in Africa. So I don't fully believe that, but that's what they say, the scientists. What I'm trying to understand is, excuse me, can you explain a Neanderthal and what were they and where did they come from? And then Cro-Magnon, like, excuse me. And that also goes against religion because everyone who believes in the Bible says, oh, Adam and Eve. It doesn't say nothing about all these different splices of different human beings here and there. And at the end of the day, they all started sleeping with each other. And you get what you get today. And evolution, human, like, I used to think to myself, Are we still evolving right now and we don't know it? I said the only times human beings look different over time is from mixing with other people that look different, and then you get different looks, and a change in diet where people who were once really short are growing taller because they're not as malnutrition. Excuse me, I'm having a tongue twister. Malnourished, excuse me. A lot of Asians are starting to get taller because they're eating better. They used to have famines and stuff, and it affected their genetics. Now they're eating healthier and better food, and they're growing taller. As far as in the future, I'm like, what could we possibly look like in 500 to 1,000 years from now? What would cause us to even not look the way we look today? I said, besides selective breeding, mixing by choice, other than that, what could possibly cause something to change where we end up looking like aliens or something? Unless there's some sort of disaster, which is what that scientist who's missing, well, she's actually not on the earth anymore. She said that the P-52s, the P-47s and the P-52s was human beings in 47 to 52,000 years, and that there was a calamity and humans went underground, and that's how these mutations happen, the big head and the big old eyes and everything, because that's what happened. That's what she said. I don't know. Okay. I don't believe everything that's written in the Bible is accurate. I ain't even gonna get highly into that. But if people want to believe that, angels to me are just aliens. They're not from Earth. They're from outer space. Outer space is the heavens. Aliens are not from Earth. They're from outer space. They're from a different planet. That's all that means to me when I hear that. Anything not from planet Earth is an alien. And they don't all look like what we've seen on the TV shows. Ooh, the Galactic Federation. I used to kind of believe in that. Okay, so let's see the next conspiracy theory. I feel that Yellowstone is actually a massive underground hive city, like the Resident Evil movie. The ranch is the main entrance, is based as a fear tactic. Any activity would most likely be Hollywood or military grade spectacle. Don't feed the fear. Everything is an illusion with them. Yellowstone is a massive underground hive city like Resident Evil. I believe Yellowstone is exactly what it is. It's a huge volcano that they don't know when it's going to erupt. If it does erupt, all of our behinds are going to die. I don't believe that there are people or experiments living under Yellowstone. you know, Sometimes sulfuric stuff comes out and they think it's going to go off. I honestly think it is a volcano, like what they say. They're monitoring it because they don't know when it could go off. They just know that when it does happen, kiss everybody goodbye when that happens. Okay, let's see. I figured out that our consciousness is alive. Of course, if you are alive, you have consciousness. I figured out that our consciousness is alive, like something we have. We are consciousness, which means we are viewing and living our lives through a being, kind of like Detroit becoming human. I don't understand what that means, but yes, everything has a conscious that's alive that can think. But she said that we are consciousness, we are living our lives through a being, that you are a part of something that's alive. Like Imagine within your physical body, the germs and everything that's in your body has their own world. And they don't even know that they're inside of me. I'm walking right now, and the little germs in my body have their own civilization and world based off my body. And they have no clue that they're in a human body, but they have consciousness and they live. And we're in something that's alive, but we have no clue that we're a part of it. I guess that's what they're saying. And that could be very much true, but there's nothing you can do about that, you know? Um, there's nothing we can do about that if that is true. I just know that we live, we're alive, and there are a lot of beautiful things about life and the world. And there's also a lot of terrible things about living in the world as well that we don't like. Let's see. NASA is the Grand Canyon. Why? The planet is 6 billion years old. Christ consciousness. I don't understand that Christ consciousness. When I hear that, I just think that means people have to walk around acting all loving and happy all damn day. I've never, they'll say, oh, just think positive thoughts 24 hours a day. That's not realistic. That's not the human experience. That's not realistic. I'm not going to do it. And it's not natural to be that way every single minute of the day. This is not a positive environment that we're in. We are in a very negative environment. The planet, every day you see someone being raped and murked, disaster, the food ain't right, everything, people you meet that's not nice. It's impossible to me to think positive every day. It's not normal to me. I'm not saying we have to walk around being miserable, but we're having a human experience. And I think I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot, and I will not go around acting like a happy Deepak Chopra every day. I'm not going to do it because it's not natural to me. Let's see. Humans were made for the planet. All the life forces come together to create the human, and she was female. There's this guy, I've shown him on this channel. He's really, really big in the sci-fi conspiracy space. And he has a theory. He says that he knows everyone came from a woman because he said, just look at the belly button. Every human has a belly button. He says, and that's what feeds you when you're in a woman, the umbilical cord. You all get fed through that umbilical cord, and all men and women have a belly button. I said, okay, but I need to understand, if a woman came first, how did she end up pregnant with a child? You have to have sperm to get pregnant. People talk about parthenogenesis. There's no evidence of it. There is no case of a woman getting pregnant without male sperm ever in history. People will say of the Bible, in my opinion, is not, I don't believe that story. And show me, besides that story in a book, show a woman that we know, we actually have seen it, it's been recorded, factual, getting pregnant without needing male sperm. We've never seen it. So I don't know. Women were created from ferocity. We were never shy, sinking, shrinking, longing for men. Men were not created yet. Women were warriors. She is God's greatest creation to the start of the human race. Creation did not need sperm. Men had to be created. So who impregnated the woman then? Who impregnated a woman? If a woman just is natural to planet Earth and just woke up on the planet, how did she end up pregnant with male children? Who screwed her? Who put a baby in her? I have yet to have any answer to that when it comes to women creating children without sperm. Yaqub, girl, please. My daddy was in the Nation of Islam. You know damn well I've heard of Yaqub, and I'm tired. I do not believe that Yaqub story at all. Before I read this, looking in the chat. Let's get into Yaqub real quick. Lord knows I can't with the Yaqub story. Lord have mercy. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me go over Yaqub real quick for people who don't know. But let me read what you're saying first. Y'all heard of the Yaqub story. I have a theory that is true, but it's about males. What if all humans were women, but the scientists at the time decided to make super soldiers with heightened testosterone? Now, the original Yaqub story is that he was a big-headed scientist. I don't know if he was from the planet Earth or where he came from. He was getting picked on for having a big old head by black people. They were all black. He said, I'm going to create a race of people that's going to enslave y'all ass because I don't like y'all. So what he did, he saw that the batteries were in opposite directions and the force with the batteries or something. So he decides to get a group of black people, because that was all that was on the planet, put them together and said, we're going to the island of Patmos. And he's going to do this experiment. So the lighter you get, he would make them unalive the babies. If they came out with color, unalive them. And keep mixing whoever comes out light, mix them with, I guess, another light person. We're going to keep mixing them until we get the white race. That's what he was doing. Get lighter and lighter through selective breeding. And in about 400 to 500 years or something like that, he made the white race. That's what they say. And he said, he passed away, but his followers continued the experiment. And then when they came off the island of Patmos or something, they were violent and were crazy, and it was all this shit happening. And that's sort of basically the story of how the white race allegedly was created by this mad scientist named Yaqub. Yaqub reminds me of the story of Satan. He wanted to be like God and make creation, so then he created all these different, the white race and all this, the differences we have today. And now when I hear black people, especially in the Nation of Islam, who are proud of this story, I'm like, you do realize that you're saying you created white people that ended up enslaving you and now run your whole fucking life and run half the fucking planet. I wouldn't be bragging about that. I wouldn't be bragging of creating my enslaver and someone who became more powerful and better than me. As far as tricknology is what they like to call it. They said the white people are good at tricknology. I'm like, no, what that means is you're not as smart and you were conquered because you're not on their level as far as able to manipulate people. I'm sorry to baby to say it, but y'all be saying it without saying it. The same way they'll say, oh, white people, Neanderthals. I'm like, but they were made. You'll say, oh, the Neanderthal is half monkey. That means black people had to fuck monkeys to make Neanderthals. Y'all was fucking monkeys, black people. I ain't gotta take it there, but they say it and to be racist, but they don't even understand what they're saying. If everybody was black and you claim that Neanderthals are half monkey, that would mean that y'all was fucking monkeys. And then they ended up pregnant, and then you ended up with Neanderthals. So stop bragging about these things because you're actually admitting that you were sleeping with animals. That's how all this happened. Or the whole Yaqub thing. Oh, the mad black scientist is angry at black people and makes white people to enslave them. The plan worked, and now you're enslaved. Like, child, I can't. I can't. I can't. I don't know. There's no evidence of Yaqub, but believe me, I heard about Yaqub a long time ago. I've heard some crazy things I'm not even going to repeat right now because it's so racist. Okay. Let's see what you said though. You said, so you don't believe in that story with Yakub. You're saying that it's the story about men. You believe that Yakub, I guess you're saying, might have been a woman. If everybody was women, female, you're saying that Yakub did something to enhance testosterone in women to create men. Men are a mutation of women. And I've heard that before. Now, like sometimes you have hermaphrodites and their clit is very big. And that's some sort of hormonal imbalance type of thing. Um, Men come from women, from enhanced testosterone. That's a little bit possible. I actually could believe that a little bit because it's possible. But I don't know how they grow a set of balls and a penis. Child, and I don't know. You're saying that the women scientists did this. I mean, if I were to hear a bunch of aliens came down and was fucking with women to make the male, maybe. Sometimes some things are so, people might think it's so hard to believe, but it might have happened. Let's see. You said that I don't fully believe it, but it's plausible to me. I mean, look at how males are built. They're clearly a mutation. No shade to the men. I mean, I think about men's testosterone and their tempers, how angry they get, like some sort of hormonal imbalance. The testosterone making them angrier. They have more muscle mass. They're more stronger. I don't know. I remember that movie called Splice. Maybe it is a great cover up that men actually are a mutation of women from some experiment from millions or billions of years ago. I don't know though for sure. I just know that we have, every species has the male and the female, male and female in all species so that they can procreate. Okay, so let's go to the next. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, let's see. Okay, hold on. Our solar system got sucked into a black hole at one point, and now we're just living over and over again, stuck in a time loop. Every loop consists of small changes in the timeline. I have never heard anything like this. Our solar system got sucked into a black hole. I don't believe that. I don't know. I did see that movie Interstellar, but usually I would think we wouldn't even be alive. I mean, you get sucked into a black hole, it stretches. Everything is stretching. The earth would stretch. I think we would all just die. Um, and we're living over and over again, stuck in a time loop. I don't know. I don't fully believe this. I don't believe we're in a black hole, but you never know. We wouldn't, I don't know. I don't know. It's possible. People often say, reincarnation. That's what we're experiencing. Reincarnation being I don't want to come back here once I pass. I don't want to do earth and life over. I don't want to be reincarnated. I don't. Unless I'm living really good in the next life and things are different. Other than that, no, I do not want to come back to earth. Okay. Let's see. Manson was a government asset. I guess they're talking about Charles Manson, the guy that was murking people, that serial murker. Not a conspiracy theory, but the AI in a box test was always kind of creepy to me. I've never heard of that. I have never heard of the AI in a box test. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on. Buildings like this were precisely built with frequencies by the fallen angels, demons slash aliens. After Satan rebelled, armed with divine knowledge, not human hands with a hammer and chisels. We don't have the knowledge or the technology today to do this. They lay on grid fault lines, pulling energy from the ether. Most parallel with the stars, but they go way deeper since Noah's flood buried them, the foundations, and washed some of the angels away and buried some of the buildings beneath. But mankind just built around these buildings. So this is the building. These big old buildings, cathedral looking things and everything, built from a long time ago. She's saying we don't have the technology back then to do such a thing. These were built by aliens slash fallen angels, the aliens that came down here. That's what they're saying, aliens. But my thing is, okay, she said that Noah's flood basically washed them away and stuff. I've heard about the Nephilim and the giants and everything like that. Um, hmm. Leave a heart if you believe that the pyramids was built by aliens. I do think there's a massive cover up. I don't believe humans built the pyramids. I don't. No, I don't believe it. They're too big. Humans cannot lift heavy stone. It's too precise. Going up to Orion. No, it's just no, no, no. There's no technology unless it's buried under the Smithsonian. I don't know. There would be something left behind. There's nothing we have that we know of to prove that everyday humans like us built those pyramids, the massive, heavy ass pyramids. Easter Island, this building. It's a cover up. It's a cover up. I don't believe humans built those pyramids. They said not even 100 men could lift one stone. Not only that, but what the hell was those pyramids for? It had to be something, unless they just wanted to say, look, let's build this so they'll know in the future how great we were. Other than that, what is it for? Some people say that it was for electrical power. Others say that it's actually more underneath it. It's something that they being covered up when it comes to these pyramids and stuff, and everything we know of, we don't have evidence. We don't. If it was giants, people said the flood happened, the giants died, but there are no giant bones. People claim to have found them. The average human being has never seen any giant bones. Mr. Universe, hello. You says it wasn't built by slaves. They were master masons. I don't believe that. Proof of civilization. They built them to last. Lines up with the poles. Again, where's their technology? Where's their technology? Because there ain't no way in the hell. Where's the technology? What did they use to lift up them heavy ass stones? I need to know. I need to see. How is all this stuff happening back then, but ain't nothing happening today? If aliens existed, which I do believe they do exist. Why is it that they could do all this shit back then, but they can't do it now? I would love to know that. All these things happening back then, but now today we don't see nothing. If they're more powerful and more advanced, then why wouldn't they just show themselves? I believe in aliens, but sometimes I think it's some bullshit. Every now and again, I'm like, if you're more powerful than us, we're like ants to you. And you did all of this shit for the human race. Why you hiding? Some say the aliens are beyond the ice wall. Others say they're not even aliens, they're in the inner earth. My thing is if you have all this technology, why don't you just show yourself? Why don't they just show themselves? Sniffle says the aliens are sick of us. I definitely think they've been studying. They've been studying and observing. I've heard some of them say they look human. I can believe that. Humanoid and everything. Golden Lady says we have at least 8 planets in the solar system that we know of. There is no way there isn't life elsewhere. Oh, definitely. I believe that. I don't believe, I always said to myself, just because we require oxygen doesn't mean another species does. They're not human. We can't even, hmm, we supposedly can't even get to these planets. So God knows what's on them. I definitely believe it. I definitely believe it. Okay, let's see. Moloch. He was a false god. They would sacrifice their babies to it. Now, 2,000 years later, they still do rituals like this in Redwood Forest. They changed the statue to an owl, but worship the same false god. Moloch is not a god. Moloch is a piece of stone that nut jobs who are mentally ill decided to say, we're going to make this piece of stone a god. You know, when I hear about sacrificing, which I do believe humans do and have done, it's a fact. The Mayans were sacrificing people. You know why humans did all that stuff? Because life was so hard. They were starving, they were poor, their crops wouldn't grow. That's why you hear about them sacrificing during the solstice and all this other craziness. They were so poor and destitute, and God wouldn't answer their prayers, that they turned to this stuff because they were desperate. They were out of their mind, and they would do anything to be able to have more because they were starving and their life was hell on earth, because that's what life is for most people to some degree. So they were, I don't believe in that bullshit. I don't believe in Moloch. I don't believe in that African spirituality nonsense and all that bullshit. Honestly, I don't. Bunch of fucking nut jobs who are desperate for a savior. They hate Earth. They're tired of being broke and poor. They're hungry. And they turn to all these things because they need some help. So they make up all this stuff they pray for these things to help them. So, okay. Moloch, of course, Moloch was a false god because Moloch was never a god to begin with. It's a piece of stone. It's not a spirit. It's a piece of stone that desperate people, maybe they tried to manifest it into being real because they were so sick in the head and they wanted riches on earth and they wanted to not be hungry no more and all this other stuff. So they got it in their head, let's sacrifice the babies and stuff so we can get these crops to grow and live better. And people still do it now. It's true. We call it different stuff. It's existed in every single culture. You know, even in the Bible, it says that those Hebrew Israelites were sacrificing their children. That's something you won't hear any of the black people who identify as Hebrew Israelites. You will never hear them bring it up, but it's in the book that they were sacrificing their children. They were killing their children. It's in the book. So this has been going on for a minute. The Mayans did it. The Hebrew Israelites did it, and people in Europe do it. It's all over the place. The question is, does that shit work? I don't believe in all that bullshit. Because most of the countries that's known for voodoo and sacrificing, they're still broke as shit. Y'all did all of that and you still hungry and broke. Clearly, it doesn't work. I don't believe in it. Personally, I believe you're mentally ill. You're desperate for your life to change. You've tried to pray to the good gods and the shit ain't work. So then you turn to the bad ones. Definitely, I don't believe in it. If you want to believe in it, you can go ahead. I don't believe in that bullshit. I don't. And I look at countries known for voodoo and how broken poor they are, and I said, there go my proof right there. Because while y'all still hungry, all that voodoo and shit y'all tried to do and y'all still hungry, go to something else. It ain't working, baby. It ain't working. Okay? I don't care about none of that. That shit don't work. I think they're mentally ill, people who practice voodoo and shit. Because I ain't seeing much success, people who are known to do it. Okay. So Moloch never existed. He's a made up fucking person. Made up by people who were desperate. You can turn anything into your god. I can get a perfume bottle and claim that's my god and start praying to it because that's what they did with Moloch. They got a piece of stone or made some golden cow, supposedly, and said, okay, we're going to worship this because, shit ain't working and we're broke and poor. And maybe our prayers get answered. Let's pray to this piece of gold cow we're going to carve out. Okay. The whole earth is one big machine. We're all synchronized to do things that go with whatever parts of the machine. Whoever is controlling it. I'm not a robot. The earth is a machine, and we do things that whoever controls this machine wants us to do. I don't agree with that because I don't like to say free will. I have a conscience. I decide what I think and what I want to do and what I like. There's nothing controlling me. It wants to control you, but there's nothing controlling me. You know, there's nothing controlling me. I mean, you might have thoughts that you might think, did someone put that in my head? But no, it's your thoughts. It's you. I don't believe that is some entity that's controlling what I think about. Religion wants to control people. They'll say, well, you don't have to be a robot, but they threaten you if you don't do what they say. So they do want you to be a robot. I just want you to choose to be one happily. Happily choose to be a robot. See how did so no, no. Because if you don't do what we say and believe what we said in this book, you're going to go to a lake of fire if you don't do what the fuck we said to do. So you want a robot. You want someone to control. Okay, let's go to the next thing. Aliens aren't from another planet. They are an elite species of humans dating back through the Ice Age, floods and fires, and found a way to survive and keep inventing. So he's saying that the aliens are from Earth, but they're elite human beings. I guess that branched off and separated from the rest of us because they have all this technology and knowledge. And this goes back before the Ice Age and the floods and fires, and they keep inventing things. Okay, but where do they live? I don't know why I just thought of vampires. You know how in the movies the vampires live in those big old places together? My thing is if they're elite human beings, where do they live? What kind of inventions do they have? Where do they live? Anything is possible. How do we know human beings didn't go in the inner earth and separate from millions of years ago and stay down there and evolved into whatever they are today? How do we know beyond the ice wall is not an elite group of human beings that live out there and it's not all ice and everything like they say? We'll never truly know because it's top secret. Okay, let's see the next conspiracy theory. The elites can body swap people, and they've taken the lives of famous people who have not gone along with their games. I'd be curious to know more about Heath Ledger, Anne Heck, Paul Walker, Brittany Murphy, Aaliyah, Kobe Bryant, to name a few. Naya Rivera was even suspicious to me. Also, Britney Spears, Selena Gomez, Avril Lavigne, Kai Cenat have all switched up. They start acting and looking different. It's weird. Like what happened to Zac Efron. How many of these things are really accidents or cover ups for something more sick? Now, I have heard that they're clones, that the celebrities we see have a clone, and if they don't go with the program, they see their clone and then they switch the bodies. This sounds insane to me. But a lot of stuff you think is not possible and sounds absolutely ridiculous. A lot of times it can end up being true. It could be, like they said, even more sick than what you can possibly imagine. Britney Spears does not look like Britney Spears anymore. Her teeth has changed. She never had a bunch of gaps all over her mouth. Now all of a sudden she has that. And she's always spinning and twirling on Instagram like she's on something. So body swap. I mean, look, we've seen the movie The Skeleton Key, Get Out, when they switch the bodies. Maybe they're telling us in these films that they can do it. Now, Skeleton Key was voodoo. Get Out was some sort of voodoo type of thing too. Um, so hello, Marky Source. So I don't really know. I mean, it's very possible. Leave a heart if you think that the elite people can switch the bodies in people, put you in a different body. Shit, that movie Hereditary, if you didn't see Hereditary, you need to see Hereditary because that's basically what they were doing too. So, I mean, it's in the movies, so it's very very possible. Hello, Silver Star. Okay, so I don't know. I hear about a lot of celebrities being vampires and people showing pictures of people who look exactly like them from over 100 years ago. And they say that they just keep switching or they just disappear and then they come back in the future after they've been hiding because you can't see them for too long. They have to go into hiding and then they come back to the next generations and everything like that. Like vampires type of thing. Okay, let's see. Religion is nothing more than a tool created by the elites to control the population. You always see conspiracy theorists talk about the conspiracies when they talk about the Bible without realizing it's a tool to control you. Case in point, a lot of the comments, there are billions fooled, unfortunately. When I think of religion controlling people, I think that it's to keep you from rebelling. Like you can't stand up for yourself, and some people have to go. Some people got to go off the planet, and they don't want you to think that. They want you to think that there's a punishment that's going to happen to you if you stand up and you take control, depending on the situation. Just like during slavery, people often question why would a bunch of racist people who hate black people and see you as three-fourths of a human, why would they give you the same religion that they believe in? I think that the Bible probably made people who were slaves think I can't rebel and take their life because I'm going to end up in hell. And then parts of the Bible says to worship your earthly masters and all this nonsense, I can beat the slave till they're almost passed out or passing away. If they don't pass away, I won't get in trouble. I think, it's craziness that's in it. And I think there are some people who like that the Bible keeps people from rebelling. Keep you in your place from if some people got to go, in my opinion. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes some people do have to get off the planet, and sometimes you might have to do it, depending on what the situation is. But some people won't do it because they think, well, I'm going to go to hell if I do it, because it's a sin for me to do it. I must pray for my enemy. I don't pray for my enemies. I don't like your ass. Fuck you. I ain't praying for you. If I don't like you, I don't pray for you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I'm not praying for you. I hope you get the same shit you did to me. I hope that shit happened to you and more, bitch. I'm vengeful, bitch. And I'm telling you the truth. But it depends on the situation. I have let things go in my life, but certain people who have crossed me, I don't pray for them. Yeah, I would think it would be nice. I wish they could just see who they are and just fucking apologize, bitch, to me. But it never happens. And in some cases, they need to be taught a lesson. They need to be taught a lesson. You cross me. You do me dirty and do me wrong. I hope something happen to your ass that you see the truth about who you are and don't fuck with me. I want the karma to come to you. I ain't praying for you. I'm not with that shit, that Martin Luther King shit. If they slap you on the other cheek, keep some shit they used to say about if you get slapped, let them slap you or something. Bitch, you must be crazy. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't beg your enemies for respect and let them slap you, bitch. You slap me, slap the motherfucker back. You gonna learn. Turn the other cheek. Yeah, I don't believe in that bullshit. Unless you have to be strategic to get some shit together. But other than that, I don't believe in that whole letting people do you wrong shit that's in the Bible. I don't believe in that shit. And I'm a peaceful person. I don't want no drama. It would be great just sometimes if a person just apologized sincerely, that could fix things. But I find that most evildoers and dirty people, they never apologize on average. A good portion of them don't. A number of them don't. Melanated says, yes, Cerebral. Black people spread that pray for your enemies gospel and took it too far to weaken themselves into being complacent. Yeah, I just saw a black woman on TikTok being called a monkey by an old racist white woman, and she said, God bless you. I said, why are you saying that to that bitch? Call her a motherfucking monkey. Said, bitch, you a monkey too. I ain't saying God bless you. Fuck that bitch. Please miss me with it. Call me that bitch, I'll call you a monkey too. The same shit if she were to say that to me. I can forgive some stuff, but I don't feel black people or anyone should have to take abuse. If someone is trying to kill you, you gonna have to kill them. And that's why slavery lasted long, because we ain't tried to do what was supposed to be done much earlier. And I'm not saying I want that for humanity, but I believe in self-defense. And that was a situation of self-defense. Shit, maybe, and after that, you might get along. And because that happens in wars, people end up becoming friends after fighting. Like, okay, we fucked up. We did this and we fought each other and all that. Let's get it together. That happens. But you keep trying to F with me and take my life. I have the right to defend myself and take yours. But the Bible will teach you you have to pray for people. You don't fight back. Oh, your reward will be in heaven. I'm not waiting until I die. What's wrong with you? I live on earth. I live now. I live now. And that's the problem with people, period, is that they keep waiting for a savior. Fix this motherfucking earth now. Fix the country. Change the laws for child rapists and rapists, period. I can't say certain things on here. Give the D penalty publicly. You can keep waiting on Jesus all you want to, but while we live here and we're alive, I need you to step up and make this planet better. And you can still wait and see if he comes back, if you believe in that, to come and fix it. All right, so let's see. Ex-President Eisenhower sold us out to the gray aliens and kidnapping us for advanced technology. His great-granddaughter also is a whistleblower. I'm an abductee. Okay. This person is saying that the gray, big headed aliens are kidnapping us, and that President Eisenhower said that the big headed aliens could take us and they would give us technology. Honestly, I believe that could be true. Some people say they're letting the aliens eat us. Remember that Twilight Zone episode where all the humans got on the ship and they didn't know that they were being kidnapped for a cookbook as human beings? So, leave a heart if you believe that the government and aliens are working together and they're allowing the aliens to kidnap us. And in exchange, they're giving all this technology that they keep discovering constantly is actually coming from the big headed aliens. Anything is possible. That was in that film, They Live, remember? The government knew all about it. I believe the government knows. They know. They know. And not all of them are big headed aliens. Some of them look humanoid and everything like that. I've always heard that the Greys are some of the most mean ones, and the reptilians, they only kidnap the white people to do experiments because they are the Greys in the past time. I don't know, because Betty and Barney Hill, Barney was black and Betty was white, and they said that the aliens took them, and they said they were from Zeta Reticulus, and it actually turned out to be true, allegedly. So, does the government work with aliens? I definitely believe that that could be true. People are eating human meat without realizing it. I definitely believe it. They're coming out with so-called lab-grown meat all of a sudden. Um, there's always a recall. The food doesn't taste the same. The texture is off. God knows what's been grinded up with the meat. I had always said that there's not enough room on the earth for the amount of people who die every year to be buried. I mean, I definitely think that it could be true that the ground beef might be part cow and part human, all grinded up together. McDonald's, I'm not saying it is human meat, but people will tell you, how on earth do all these fast food places have enough food supply to give us every single day so much chicken and beef every single day? But yet there's all these recalls in supermarkets and everything like that, and the food is just fucked up that we're eating today. So I believe it's possible that we're eating human beings and we don't know that we are, that it's been mixed in with the food. The food looks like it don't even look right, a lot of it, you know? I'm telling you. Hello, Elvis. Yeah, the food is very nasty today. It often doesn't have a taste. The texture is off. Sometimes it crumbles like clay. There's no blood. The colors, it looks like it just looks manufactured. It just doesn't look right. I have a couple of videos talking about that with the food. So I definitely think that it's possible and we'll never know. You know why I think it's possible? Because when the Holocaust happened, they used Jewish people's skin for purses. Every body part was put into stuff. And that was during, I mean, that was over 100 years ago, just about. So it definitely wouldn't make me think they couldn't do that now, especially if there's not enough room to bury everybody. I mean, unless they cremate them, they might think, well, shit, let's use everything for what we can. People need to eat. Remember Soylent Green? That movie was, it was, he said Soylent Green is people. Everybody was eating people in that film and didn't know it because the environment had changed so bad that there was a food shortage. And we are experiencing a food shortage a lot more now. I think there's something terrible that's happened that they're not telling us. Okay. Trump just ordered fertilizer from Morocco just the other day because there's something up. So, something wrong. All this stuff being put in the ocean. It's just, no. I would never want lab grown meat because I don't think it could fool you. How could you get full off of something that's not even real food? How could you get nutrients from lab grown meat? It ain't even real meat. It's not going to taste right. Cerebral, have you ever been to the country and seen a farm? I've seen a lot of places with cat. I've seen, well, there's a farm not too far away, but not growing corn. They have cows. Um, but I don't see it a lot. I might see people who have horses. I don't often see crops being grown around where I live. The most I've seen is some cows. But you know, Elvis says they made us all cannibals. The thing is, though, is that there's some sort of disease that you get if you eat human meat. Like if we eat it, there's a disease that can make you go crazy or something, I heard, by eating it. Let's see. The girl from the plane saying she saw something, y'all remember that? She did see something and the government silenced her. I remember that woman that was on the plane and she says that mother effer is not human or something like that. I didn't hear much from her. I don't think that the government did anything to her. She did seem like she was high, to be honest, when she was on that plane. So I don't know. Let's see. Missing kids are taken to Antarctica to make inventions. That's where the story of Santa Claus came from. That's why it's illegal to go there. I have never heard this. I have never heard this conspiracy theory in my life. Let me repeat it. Missing children are in Antarctica to make inventions. That's where the story of Santa Claus is coming from. And that's why you cannot go to Antarctica. It's true that the governments around the world have a treaty that we cannot go past a certain point in Antarctica, which already lets you know they're covering up something. I don't know if this is a gigantic UFO ship that crashed that's down there. I don't know if it's advanced civilizations that live down over there, but you can't go. And that lets you know something's going on. But I've never heard this. Missing children, making inventions, Santa Claus. Number one, you think Antarctica is too cold, it's cold as shit. Who could really, children can't survive in Antarctica. But they said, what was that man? General Byrd, who said that when he flew over a part of Antarctica, he said that he saw trees and that it was grass and it wasn't all ice like what you think it is. So maybe it's true. But I can't imagine children being worked like slaves or a prison camp or something to make inventions and stuff like that. This is crazy. But this is one I have never heard this type of conspiracy in my life. This is a good one, to be honest with you. Like, what? I never heard of this. What if it's true? The children are Santa's elves. Oh my God. Um, Look up the history of Saint Nick. I don't know why I got scared all of a sudden hearing that. Oh God. That's why they eliminated the Consumer Protection Agency and the Environmental Protection Agency. Corporations will dump toxins and cause miscarriages and birth defects. Horrible. Horrible. All of these use a little truth to come up with wild theories. Okay, so this is a crazy one, but what if it's true? I mean, like I said, some stuff people think of, people will say you have lost your mind, but a lot of people that people think are crazy end up not being crazy at all. Okay, let's see. The next one says, we as humans were genetically modified by aliens many, many, many years ago. Well, I have heard people who believe that the aliens mixed their DNA with the monkey, and that's how humans got made. Homo sapiens. Half alien, half monkey. Not the Neanderthal, but humans, period. Spliced, basically. Then I hear about the Anunnaki theory that the Anunnaki came down to Earth. They wanted to mine gold and they mixed their DNA with the monkey, made the human beings to be slaves and mine gold for them for their ships. And then they left. I have heard that. Ooh, Prometheus. Girl, I love that. Prometheus. I love Prometheus. My thing is if aliens created humans, are they ever going to bring their ass back? And in Prometheus, they were, but they were going to do something terrible to us. How do we know they haven't been watching? They have technology to look, and they've been watching us in the background, you know? So, I don't know. I think anything is possible. I don't think it's insane to say that we were created by a highly advanced alien group. Even in the Bible, it says, make man in our image. And people always say, "You, it's out of context. It's out of context." No, it says our image. That means there's a group. Our. How do you know it's not different types of aliens that look like all the different races that said, okay, we're going to make all of them in our image and put them down here? Put this here, put this there. I mean, it's possible. What do I think about the sun being God? I don't believe that. I believe the sun is the sun. And he means the sun that we see every single day and feel every single day. Elohim is plural. It doesn't say that in the book. People, when the Bible says certain things and people don't understand it, they'll always say you're taking it out of context. And I don't know, no. It says our image. I believe, personally, I used to think it just means the Galactic Federation is a group of different aliens who decided to create human beings that all look different. I've never seen that movie, Woman. No, I never heard of that movie. We live in a simulation with a reset every couple hundred years. The last one being somewhere in the 17th to 18th century. Our history is all fake, all of it. 2020 was the year of a natural reset and a shift in consciousness. We were supposed to rise in a dimension, but they use COVID as a distraction to keep us distracted while trapping us in an enclosed system like the show The Dome in an attempt to avoid the natural reset and keep us in this lower dimension so they can keep being in control. When I hear stuff like that, I need more detail. What are you really saying? That we were supposed to go to a different. When they say that the dimension is going to change, does that mean I'm going to blink my eye and the sky is going to be pink now? What exactly is this shift in consciousness supposed to be? What I'm supposed to think like Deepak Chopra and I'm going to act really enlightened about a bunch of shit? Like what exactly is going to change that's going to impact my life? Is rent going to be free? It's no more rent. Um, are they going to discover a new energy source? I need more detail of what this rise is going to do in consciousness because like I said, I don't think happy thoughts 24/7. So that's never going to happen. That's not natural. I need more detail. I've heard people say that we died in 2020. I did not die in 2020. No, nobody died in 2020. Yes, it's true that they do try to keep you distracted with a bunch of bullshit on social media. Some stuff, some, not everything. And there's something always going on in the background for the future that we often don't control by the elite people. Even if we're in a dome, we can't get out. We can't get out. We can't get out the simulation. There's nothing you can do. Nothing to escape. Like Neo off the Matrix when he woke up to the pods. It's not going to happen for mostly everyone. So even if it's true, there's nothing you can do about it. In my personal opinion, you just have to keep living here, unfortunately, with the way things are. You want things to change, you have to. The only thing, the only reset I ever see happening is some sort of cataclysmic event has to happen. Like that woman said, like an asteroid has to hit and humanity has to start over. That's the only time big resets happen, when you got to start over. Something wipes almost everybody out, and then you have to start over again. People often keep complaining about the elite people, the billionaires, but no one does anything about that except that guy Luigi who did the assassin, you know what. And I'm not saying to do that, but that's the only thing that I've seen where someone is fighting them, you know. But I did say I have an opinion about the simulations. If you're in a simulation, I'm sorry to tell you, but you can't get out of it. There's You can't. I have not seen not anything that would make you wake up out of this world in another place with pods, or and then you would leave your family if you're close with them, or somebody you love, your husband or something, and you realize, oh my God, this is the simulation. Okay, you've realized it, but you're still here. You wake up here every single day, no matter how much you don't want to be here. You still wake up to it every day. What's the everyone people who claim to have the answer, they're still here with us. I'm like, why are you still here if you knew how to get out? Tell us the magic words to leave. Christ consciousness, you believe in Jesus. Okay, but you're still here. You still wake up with the rest of us every single day. So you haven't left the planet. Okay. And I'm not saying it's not possible, but I notice people who talk like that can never give you the answer on how to leave. Oh, you need to have a rise in my consciousness in what type of way? What am I supposed to be saying or thinking? Give me the answer. Just don't say, I just get tired of it. It's like they all say the same thing. What do I need to say exactly and do? What are the magic words? They never give the answer to it. Oh, you believe in Jesus. That's fine. A lot of people do. You're still here. What do I need to say? Does anyone understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Okay. Hell is actually our planet, and Satan rules the world. I'm Christian, but this theory just sounds too real to me. If you're Christian, what are you doing here? Why aren't you in heaven then? What the fuck are you doing here on hell on earth if you're Christian? Why are you here? And why would your loving God place you here? And I'm not saying, I told y'all I have something I might reveal and I'm working. I can't say too much. I'm not saying I disagree. My thing is, though, is if you're different, why are you here with us? Why would you be here if you're Christian? Why would Satan even be allowed to be near you? These are the questions. Anything you say, they always have an answer to. They can never just admit that they're wrong or they don't know what the hell is happening, you know? So, hell is our planet. I personally believe that some of that is true, it's more deeper. Um, Satan rules the world. I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe it's a man with a pitchfork monitoring billions of people. Okay? The Bible says, God says in the Bible, I do the evil. I make the evil happen. I do both of them. It's literally in the Bible. Don't believe me, you can research it yourself. It says, I, your Lord, do all of this. I'm doing these evil things to you. I'm making your life hell. Isn't that disgusting? It's absolutely disgusting. But it's in the Bible. Um, let's see. Humanity has faced several great resets in order to be controlled and tamed. My thing is, though, are they saying that the elite billionaires in power take the lives of billions of people every time it goes wrong? Like off the Matrix. In the Matrix, he said that they kept trying to make a perfect world for humans and it just doesn't work because humans are not like that. And that they had to keep destroying the world over and over again until they finally came up with the right matrix for human beings to live in. I'm wondering though, like, is it like a switch that they just turn off everything and everybody dies and then they start a new system? We're going to do this time. Okay, put them in here. I've heard people say that they believe that hundreds of civilizations just as advanced as us have lived on the planet and then they got wiped out. Yeah, maybe by a comet, an asteroid. I just don't think we'll ever have the answer on some stuff. They say that a comet is coming, hypothesis, in 2029. But they say this every couple of years. They said Nibiru was coming. I was waiting for it. Nibiru never came. That was over a decade ago. So now they're saying a comet will be here in 2029. Let's look at one last conspiracy for tonight. And then I'll have more a different night. Okay, just give me a second real quick. Okay, this is the last one for tonight. There's a good chance advanced civilizations existed before us, but something always came and reset the progress. Floods, dark ages, collapses can be seen as a cycle of historical events. We just don't know when the next cycle begins and our ends. Damn, I just said it. If an asteroid comes down, then you have to start over again. And we don't know when that's happening, at least not the everyday person. We never know when that can happen. We don't know. We don't have we don't think we have the technology to even see if something's coming. If something is coming, and you never know. I mean, they say that the moon controls a lot of the ocean, the waves of the ocean, their rogue waves and everything. We don't know if something can happen with the moon that could trigger massive tsunamis on the earth. The pole shift has happened before. You saw that movie 2012 or The Day After Tomorrow. That was a pole shift. And it's a true story of the mammoth that was found frozen with food still in its belly. a pole shift happened out the blue that froze him instantly. That could happen again, and we don't even know when that could happen. We don't know. So we, at least the average person. So um, that is it for now. Okay, I'm actually kind of hot, and I need to cook some dinner. So I want you to watch the first one that I did. This is the second one. Okay. And if you have any conspiracy theories, you can email me. My email should be in the description box. So I will give my honest opinion about it. For dinner, I'm having a steak with broccoli and rice. Yes, a good old New York strip steak. So I'm going to go ahead and go. Um, I don't know. This was good. I'm thinking, was it as good as the first one? Because the first one I gave even a little bit more detail in my opinions about some of this, but some stuff, I mean, it was pretty good. I don't even know what the other can, I find these conspiracy theories, I'll share them. I don't even know what they will be. When I put them up here on the screen, it's like it's my first time again seeing them, the conspiracy theories. So these opinions are natural and straight up what I'm seeing on the screen right along with you. So that is it for now. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Y'all know who y'all know. Okay. Click all notifications. And I will talk to you all later. All right. You all take care. And I do believe in some of these conspiracies. Some of them I do believe. Some I'm not sure. And some I think are crazy. But you never know. One thing I've learned is that a lot of times things you think is crazy as hell turn out to be true and real. So I always say anything is possible. Anything is possible. Okay? So you all take care. Bye, everybody.